CashColorCannabis, a high-level conversation broadcasted live from LivehiphopDaily.tv on a beautiful Tuesday night. Back at it again for, I almost forget how many years we've been doing this at this point. It was close to 8. It sounds ridiculous the more I do this. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, you don't think about it, but we started in 2016. So by the end of December, we're hitting our 8th year of doing this. So that's almost a round of applause. I need y'all, even if y'all listening, just clap to yourself. 8 years of doing something. Seriously, I remember there's people, my first 2 seasons, I interviewed who were in the weed game, and they was telling me how deep they were in it. And when I say not one of them are in this business no more, yeah, I outlapsed a lot of y'all.
You notice, though.
Yeah,
you do notice things like that.
I am proud of that, man. But I'm back with another season, another round of amazing guests. And to kick off our first live show of the year, I got my girl Jade Byrd, Eat the Herb, in the building. What's up, Jade?
Peace. Hey, y'all.
Hey, okay.
How y'all feeling?
The last time you were here, I was actually behind the camera helping produce a video for you. You was doing a cooking tutorial.
Yes.
Yeah, that was live.
It was live. It was fun. I was able to talk my shit and do what I do. And I was auditioning for a TV show, and that's working out pretty well. We're still working that out. Yeah. So, yeah, that was fun. I was super grateful. It was just an opportunity that came to me, and I took advantage of it, and here we are.
Well, thank you for trusting myself and trusting Liv and trusting Joe with your vision. I walked away. I remember going home smelling like so much food. Like, I forgot you cooked that fresh on the spot, but it's bomb. And speaking of that, we're going to get into her cooking and when did you find a heart for cooking and all these other things? Matter of fact, that's my first question. When did you find a heart for cooking?
It's crazy because when I was younger, I was notorious, for not being able to cook well at all.
Like how young we talking about?
I would say, starting around the age of 8 is when we started really cooking for ourselves, as kids.
Me too.
My rice was always burnt at the bottom, raw on top. It was like that for a long time. But my interest was more so in health and wellness. So when I went to school at Georgia State, I majored in dietetics, nutrition. So that's what I studied. That's what my degree is in.
That's what's up. When I was cooking around the same time, but I wasn't doing rice at all. It's so wild. My mom and my dad wouldn't trust me to do rice, but they sure allowed me to peel and cut potatoes, make French fries, and grilled cheeses when I got home. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I still make that to this day.
Staples.
Yeah, staples. So you went to school, and this was something that you eventually did pick up. When did you learn that you was actually getting better at it?
When people started to refer to me as a chef, and I wasn't referring to myself as a chef, at the time I was referring to myself as a cook.
Okay.
Or someone who makes edibles.
Chef does sound like a lofty title. Once you say chef, you really doing this.
Mm-hmm. Chef is, someone who went to a culinary arts school. In my dietetics program, there was a lot of, culinary curriculum, but it wasn't a culinary arts program. It was nutrition. It was dietetics. It was the science behind food.
What's the school that's primarily that? Was it Johnson & Wales? I feel like when I was living in Charlotte, I felt like there was a school that's primarily all about culinary arts. I just can't think of the name of it.
Don't give me the line because I don't know.
I ain't gonna get you the line. Hopefully I ain't lying. Hopefully I ain't saying Johnson.
Everybody I know
to
go to Le Cordon Bleu, okay?
It's all good. It's all good, man. But cooking is something that I feel like most people think they're good at. It's just, you figured out that you're actually better than good. And that's a good thing. There's a lot of good people running around here trying to sell his plates.
Well, food and nutrition is really tricky because even being in the nutrition field and pursuing a career in it, it's weird because everybody has their own thing about nutrition and what works for them, and it's never a one size fits all when it comes to diet. And so it's the same thing with food. Everybody cooks. You know what I mean? It's kind of to a certain extent, a level playing field for everyone because everybody cooks, everybody needs food, so who's to say, people do say it, but at the end of the day, if you go home and you cook for your family and your family enjoys your food, then you're an awesome cook.
All right, so I'm an awesome fryer. Like I always felt like my fried chicken is the bomb. Like that's one thing I know for a absolute fact. If I
I'm
make
curious.
This, I'll make it. I'm not. I was thinking about Cat Williams. It's not Cat Williams and Wanda. This ain't my world famous broccoli. like my chicken is bomb as hell, man.
Is it?
Yeah, man. Like I've gotten good. Matter of fact, I knew my chicken was real good when my mother-in-law requested me to make some for her. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, mother-in-law. Yeah, you in there,
Yeah,
mother-in-law.
Exactly. She said, "Yo, ask Mecca to make some of that chicken." I was like, I got you.
Is there any like specific seasoning you giving off?
Oh, I'm not giving y'all the secret sauce, man. Like y'all ain't running off with the sauce on this one, then everybody start talking about their world famous chicken.
I feel you. Preserve it.
Yeah, but it's a spicy. I also I like mine's hard. Like I like cooking it real hard. Like,
Fried hard.
Yeah, fried hard. Like when I say hard, bro, the D is like serious. Like make sure that.
So you frying hard using cornmeal in your
I do actually.
Uh-huh.
Cornmeal, get that little crisp crust.
It
right
does.
there.
It does. So that's that old school. A lot of people don't fry in cornmeal no more.
Nah, they didn't know about that. A lot of people's frying is them ordering something. So I'm scared. I was about to give away something, but I see people all day go through DoorDash and stuff, and I'm just now becoming a person who orders out more than anything. But I watch people now, it's like their daily routine is just ordering out. I'm like, your diet gotta be terrible.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. When 2020, when that COVID hit and I started working from home, Uber Eats every day. Like I couldn't believe it. I was looking at my bank receipts. I was like, wow, I order from Uber Eats every day. This is crazy.
Really?
It was a time to be alive, right?
I can tell you right now, my first order from Uber Eats was 2 years ago.
Good for you.
Yeah.
It's a cult, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a cult.
Yeah, the convenience. Stop playing. And you got access to all these different restaurants.
And now I am that person because literally when I was in Vegas, Herb asked me, Mac, what you doing about to order something for breakfast real quick, man? I dropped that off, man. I dropped that off real quick. But that's what's up. So I love the fact that you have cooking in your spirit. I love that you made this into an actual lifestyle of yours. Speak to us about the fact, the moment that you decided that this was going to be something where you was going to be a caterer, you was going to bring out you was going to actually start entertaining large amounts of guests and not just a small community of people.
That happened. I'm not sure the exact moment that happened, but it definitely happened when I started to realize like, wow, I'm really good at this. And my confidence started to develop and I started to get like really good feedback from people and people telling me like that this is a very unique experience. I never had vegan food before. If you were to cook for me like this all the time, I could be vegan. People were telling me things like that all the time. I knew the exact moment that I wanted to create Eat the Herb was when I first transitioned over to a vegan diet in 2017 and didn't have shit to eat. And I remember I was high as fuck with my best friend one night and he had some Chinese food. It was like some type of like chicken and some like really sugary sauce with vegetables and stuff like that. And I was like, well, let me just get a bite of the vegetables and the rice. And he's like, no, you're a vegan and the meat is all up in here. You can't eat this. He telling me.
Yeah.
And I'm new to vegan. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm butthurt about it. And then I had got to thinking, I was like, wow, like what am I going to do about edibles now that I'm vegan? Like, I don't, like it came to me like that. And then I was like, there we go.
That's what's up. So you didn't come from, like your family wasn't vegans. Like it wasn't something you was growing up with. It's something that you decided later in life?
No, I grew up eating, hog maw, chicken feet, pig's feet, chitlins.
Oh, them are 4 things I've never eaten a day in my life.
I'm originally from Omaha, Nebraska. I grew up near like the stockyards.
Oh, so you was there. You was able to actually cut the chicken feet.
No, not quite. I was able to see it.
Gotcha.
And smell it. Smells. Cows are the worst smell ever. I don't think anybody should be eating cows.
I've been on a farm plenty of times in my life. Like, it's not the best thing.
Right. But I also grew up with a granny who had a beautiful garden in her backyard, and we would be out there. So I knew fresh fruits and vegetables. I knew real food. Yeah. As a child. So, and I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah, I know you're not going back to hog maws and chitlins no more, right?
No. No.
Not even the vegan version.
I might do the vegan version.
Who doesn't
I
do the
am
vegan
I am
version?
that ghetto ass yeah, I might. There's the Chef Joya is out there, and she did these vegan chitlins.
Oh, where's Gray at right now? Gray, be upset for it. I'm upset for you, bro. They making vegan chitlins.
I'm not saying, I'm good enough not to try it, is what I'm saying.
That's wild. One of the things when I was playing basketball back in my younger college days, I called myself going vegan, and this is me going vegan. I'm just gonna eat chicken, cheese pizza, and drink water. And I remember this girl, serious. I remember this girl I was dating at the time. I told her, I was saying, "Nah, I'm off meat." And she said, "So you're just gonna be grease and water?" That was me going vegan, and clearly it didn't stick because I'm eating chicken and pork chops right now. Louis Farrakhan, don't get mad at me. I still like pork.
At the time, what was that for you?
What you mean?
Like, was it something that you learned, or you want to be like a better player?
It was not that much. It was something. It was something I learned. Like around that time, I'm from Boston, and there used to be this spot in Dudley Square called the Black Library. It was really a kiosk. It wasn't really like a whole library. But I used to get books from there every single weekend. I would go into Dudley Square, and the more and more I would read, especially when it came to African diets and things like that, you would feel like it was more of a plant-based situation. Mm-hmm. So again, I thought I was being deep at the time. I'm like 19, 20. like, I felt like I was being. I also used to write poetry too. Like it was a wild year for me.
Snaps.
Yeah, exactly. Snap. It was a wild year for me. But I thought to myself, yeah, I'm gonna start trying to transition off meat. So my mom's is frying everything every single day. It's hard as hell. But when I got back to campus, my first thought was cheese, pizza, and water.
Yeah.
It
was your go-to.
That was my go-to. And I'm kind of nervous about going vegan now. Like I feel like it's something that I want to get into, but I don't know really what's stopping me other than I don't like people who make versions of stuff I actually like, but it's like vegetables. Like I don't want to see vegan fried chicken. I don't care.
And I've had to learn and accept that about people, like the hard way. Like that is really a thing for people. People do not like that, and so I have had to like really humble myself and just call things like what they are. Like, us vegans, we fry up some eggplant and we like this a fish plate type situation, but somebody else come in and be like, this is some fried eggplant and y'all need to stop tripping. I get it.
Don't drop a big mushroom on my plate and call it a pork chop. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. But I would be open, especially the older I get. I am open to changing my diet primarily because I want to make sure I ensure my health. You know what I mean? Like I know the background of my whole family. Like I don't want to have hypertension. I don't want to go through certain things. But I'm gonna get there eventually. And having friends like you and having friends like La, I know eventually I'm gonna have to change my diet because that's all y'all keep doing is trying to feed me vegetables.
Oh, it's love.
It is. It's love. Like vegetables are love. I love. And I'm saying I love vegetables. I love vegetables. It's just I don't feel like I'm gonna eat a plate of them.
Not a whole plate.
I mean, I'm going to dinner at Mary's, so eventually I'm gonna have to eat a plate of vegetables.
But when you see like how I curate this menu though, like it's not, you're not thinking like, wow, this is good vegan food. You're like, wow, this is good food.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I like your confidence when it comes to that.
Thank you.
That's dope. So when did you decide that you was gonna start infusing this food? Like when did that notion pop in your head? Like I think I could do something special with this.
It was that night with the Chinese food.
Okay.
Me, being the dirty vegan, asking my friend for the vegetables in his Chinese food mixed all with meat and stuff like that. I think going into it, I wanted to avoid that feeling of like that fear of missing out. So when I first transitioned over to veganism, I was like making anything that I had a desire to make or a craving to make, I would figure out how to make it so I just wouldn't feel like I was missing out on anything. And so, before I got to that point, anytime I feel like limited or feel like I'm just not like living life to the fullest, it just kind of messes up my head a little bit. So that is kind of what triggered me to, and also not having access to vegan edibles. At that time, vegan edibles or edibles in general just hadn't evolved. It was brownies and gummies.
Oh, I know that era.
And that wasn't that long ago. That was like 2018.
No, exactly. When
you know what I mean?
Anybody told you they had an edible line, it was brownies, and like you said, it was.
It was like really basic things. Like people weren't thinking of cannabis as an herb, as something that you can put in savory food, as medicine, as something that can heal you. So I was I hate to say that it came to me randomly, but it was literally like me sitting down and just kind of brainstorming one night, and that's how it happened. And I was like, I'm going to infuse Jamaican patties.
Oh, I got some.
You do. I did bring you some.
And you brought me some.
That was the first thing that I ever made, and for a long time that was the only thing that I was making was Jamaican patties, and it was just so unique and different to people. It was just a hit, like vegan, non-vegan, like that thing was hitting.
Yeah, I believe it. You know, it was, again, you're breaking people from the normal that they were doing, because at that one moment it was gummies, it was brownies, brownies on repeat. So for you to see something like beef patties is you know, you jarring people's minds at that point. I'm sure they was jumping on it.
Yeah. People were people loved it. They ate it up. So it was fun. That's
what's up. Do you have a favorite? Is there a specific strain you like using? I feel like when we was doing your tutorial, you mentioned you like using Blue Dream.
Blue Dream is forever my number one. I definitely have like a special attachment to Blue Dream because I just love everything about it. Like I love how Blue Dream cooks like in savory dishes. Yeah. It does well with desserts, and then I just love how it smokes. I love how it makes me feel. Like all around, like that is my number one.
That's what. Do you have a number two?
Not necessarily, but there's certain like terpenes that I fuck with, like the I hope I don't mispronounce it, the limonene.
I love how she went to profiles. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, obvious like things like that pair well with like things that I have lemon in them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Lemon cake or lemon desserts, or if I'm sauteing some kale and I, you know, do a little you know, just fresh lemon juice, like that just goes well with that herb. Like it just cooks really well. And then there's other flavors that I really, really like too. Like some strains are just so like dank, like stank almost, and they just like they do really well in savory dishes. Like it masks the taste of cannabis almost all the way, or it'll show up like thyme or something, like a true like seasoning in the dish. And I really like those types of strains.
That's amazing. So when you're infusing, is it oil, butter, or do you actually crush out the actual flower? Like have you ever done that?
I have done those types of garnishes, but I normally just make coconut oil.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so coconut oil, I infuse oil. That's like my number one infusion method. I've been really trying to get into this flavorless, really potent, I believe is hash or some type of resin. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I do. You're trying to get into that as far as infusing with stuff?
Yeah, because it's flavorless, right? And that's all. It's a little dangerous though. You got to be careful when you like just absolutely can't taste the cannabis in it.
Yes, because you'll keep eating.
Exactly.
Yo, remember when that happened to Antoinette when she kept eating them edibles because she didn't know they were edibles?
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Yeah. It looked at us and said, "Oh, these are good." And I was like, "How many did you eat?" She had about 4 of these. I was like, "Girl, you know them edibles, right?"
Oh, and I don't play about that. I am not proud to say I have sent plenty of people to the hospital over the years, but I will say that those people didn't follow my directions and greened out themselves.
Disclaimer.
But I have stories of people going to the hospital. Like when I first got into this and I didn't know anything about dosage or anything like that, I remember this guy hit me up. He was like, ma'am, I've been high for 3 days and I'm just ready to come down now, and I was just reaching out to see if you could help me out. I was like, oh shit.
Sorry, get in the hot tub.
Oh shit. But I mean, that's not a good feeling when people go through that. Like being too high is not a good feeling. And so that's when I got really serious about, okay, let me like do this professionally and learn about dosing and strains and, you know, just how people process it, and let me learn like the science behind it. And so that's when I studied.
That's gotta be scary too. I remember, what was it, about a year or two ago, there was a story about a wedding planner who her and the bride conspired to make this meal that was totally infused. They was gonna surprise everybody. I'm like, that's a felony, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh no, they got in trouble for that. I do not play with people like that.
Well, I remember hearing one of them phone calls like, yes, I think somebody drugged me.
Because imagine you sitting there having a good time and then you don't expect a body high to come over and it comes over you. That will scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, especially if you start getting hot. You know what I mean? Because I've been in that position too. Like I remember when I went to Cali, this was also around my college years. I was very experimental. I'm out there in California. I was dating this girl from Torrance, and she had put me on the chronic. And before that, the only thing I was smoking probably the highest level was probably some Arizona, some good mid-grade, possibly a little bit of hydro, but it wasn't on a consistent basis to where it would have been in my system. I hit that chronic, and when I say I almost felt like Smokey in Friday. Like I almost took all my clothes off at Universal City Walk. I got so hot, like my whole body was just like, that was the highest I've ever been in my entire life.
Really? And that was from smoking?
That was from smoking.
Oh, wow.
And I knew what I was smoking. Like, I was happy to do this. I inhaled the whole blunt. And I stepped outside in this heat in LA, and it was like, all right, Smokey. Yeah, man, Smokey was loading in my body. Like, get all these clothes off my body, man. I'm too hot. Too hot.
What? Cannabis will humble you.
Yes, it will.
Cannabis will humble even the greatest.
Yes, it will. That's why I'm scared of dabbing, because dabbing do that to me too. Like a dab gets me so high so quick. Like I don't know how people can do that on a consistent basis. Like, dabbing put me down. Though I do like concentrates. I will roll one in my blunt occasionally.
I've never dabbed before.
Really?
Yeah. Anytime I've been around it, I've like been working the event, and I've had to learn like the hard way. Like I just can't get high as shit like when I'm working.
I can't remember the last time I dabbed was a CBD dab, but prior to that,
I would do a CBD.
Big Head Bruce had me dabbing up in here. But I like his rig. It was just like something that was a little bit more smoother. Sometimes I be seeing that shit cook up, and I just feel like I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's dope that I love your journey towards infusing. I love your journey moving towards becoming a professional. You're a chef now. We can call you that.
Thank you.
You earned the title. And now you're
I'm well studied.
You're putting on some dope events too, like Dinner at Mary's.
Yes. So Dining at Mary's.
Dining at Mary's. I say dinner.
You did, and it's
sorry.
cool. It's cool because it's close. It was originally Dinner at Mary's, but we had to switch up the name.
Oh, I'm not tripping then. Okay.
It was Dinner at Mary's, and then some people came for us because that was their name, and I understood. So we humbled ourselves, changed around a few letters, babe, because that is what it is.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that.
Dining at Mary's ATL, like. All of my favorite things to do in the world is like this. Yeah. Dinner parties, getting people together, showcasing Black artistry, acknowledging it, appreciating it, slowing down, being high. You know what I mean? Fellowship, community, good food, good music. I love these things.
Yeah.
I love these things, and I love being able to bring people together in this way. I feel like is one of my spiritual gifts. So I feel like I'm definitely in my zone with this.
Now, I did help you promote the last one, but I didn't miss it. I do apologize for that. My everyday life is hectic, and sometimes I just need a break.
No, I feel you. This is the entrepreneur thing. You don't ever have to apologize because I know.
Yeah, but I heard it was a good time.
Yes, it was amazing.
What did I miss dinner-wise?
Dinner-wise, okay, so we had 6 courses. 5 of them were infused. The dessert was infused with CBD in an effort to like bring people down.
Got you. That's a good idea. Thank you. Being responsible.
We had like deconstructed lasagna.
When you say deconstructed lasagna, you mean like it was meatless?
No, so think of
I'm cool with it though.
Think of like actually it was an eggplant parmesan. So think of like a bake.
Okay.
But basically like I took like the filling in the noodles and put it kind of like in a cup, and then the fried eggplant was kind of something on the side. So when I looked out, a lot of people were taking the fried eggplant, they was dipping it in there like it was the bread type situation. So it's just like taking a meal and recreating it like it's all the same components, but it's
was that the way they were supposed to eat it?
I mean, is there a wrong way to eat a Reese's?
There's not a wrong way to eat a Reese's, but you being a chef, you know how you prepared this and you knew how this was supposed to be consumed. Like, have you ever looked at it and been like, you heathens? Like, y'all doing this incorrectly.
I have been offended by people eating my Jamaican patties cold. Very offended, just because it is very laborious.
Yeah.
And so for you not to take the time to heat that motherfucking patty up, and it took me that long to make it, I do get offended by things like that.
I can tell by the way you hit that motherfucker. She's serious. Cook that hoe before you eat it.
Yeah, but also I notice things like, I notice who eats what. Like, I study people and the type of foods that they like. Like, I pick up on it probably within 2 to 3 days. I'm just like, oh, okay, this person likes really savory foods. This person doesn't really like sweets. This person doesn't like when their palate is overstimulated. You know, things like that I'm able to pick up on. Because a chef is always going to notice, like, who eats what and who didn't eat what, you know?
That's what's up. That's what's up. I hate to date you because I bet you'd be like so intense when it comes to what we about to eat. Like, I noticed your body language. Like, you know, this isn't what you like on a regular basis. That must be a hard deal. But that sounded good. That sounded like a cool meal. Like, I'm sorry I didn't miss that, but I'm not gonna miss this next one because then dining at Mary is coming up at the end of this month.
Yes, it's on the 27th. It's going to be at Saha CBD.
Shouts to the homies over there.
Yes, they are the homies. I love them. You know, Khadijah.
I do. Shout out to Bridget. I feel like Bridget opened up in a deli now.
She did. She opened up a whole restaurant. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, they doing like chopped cheeses and stuff, bro.
Yeah. Super proud of her.
Yeah, they got a deli. That's what's up.
But they are a family, like a family, like in business, and I like, you know, hats off to them. That's like respect.
I really like them because I watched them grow from your CBD to we said fuck that, we gonna have our own name. like we leaving the franchise life and we gonna stand on our own. So.
Love it, yeah.
So it's gonna be at Saha. What's the menu for this next one?
So I'm still developing the menu. But it's going to be a Costa Rican soul food infusion.
She is going to drag Costa Rica out, ain't she?
Oh, I am. So I am going to be relocating to Costa Rica this year.
Stop playing.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Are you working at the bed and breakfast? And it's not an Airbnb. The bed and breakfast?
Right. So I have a family member, a really close family member who owns a bed and breakfast in Gracia, Costa Rica, that's up in the mountains. And I'm going to be the chef there for the bed and breakfast. Of course, breakfast, but I'm also going to be able to host like private dinners and things like that. So I'm super excited. I am going to be back and forth between Costa Rica and Atlanta. And so our full menu is still going to be available at all times. So, yes. So this infusion, that's how the menu is inspired. It's a Costa Rican soul food infusion. So, food is just so similar, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many like cultures that cross paths, especially like when it comes to like foods and when it comes to like seasonings and things like that. So, like, for example, in Costa Rica, they eat a lot of like rice and potatoes and beans and things like that. So they have this soup called sopa negra. It's like a black bean soup, right? So I'm going to create this black bean soup, right? And we're going to have it with some fried cornbread. It's going to be the whole cakes. And that's the soul food infusion. That's how we bringing that together like that.
And that's how you sold me. Because I'm like, I don't really like black beans. But I will try that with some cornbread. But also, I need to expand my palate anyway. So don't let me stop you. Go ahead. Like, what's going else with the rest of this menu?
Yeah, no, I'm excited about that. And I would love to expand your palate because I do really well with those things. Yeah. So, let's see here. I'm still kind of like deciding on the dessert. I think it's going to be something fruity just because Costa Rica has the best fruit in the world. Like, Costa Rica is one of the healthiest places in the world. Just the way that they deal with the land and things like that. You know, we were up in the mountains, so they grow like a lot of strawberries. I ate gooseberries, soursop, mangoes, rambutan, like all of these just tropical, like really, really just sweet heavenly, godly fruits. Like, it was just amazing. So, I'm going to have that menu together here pretty soon, but that's what it's, looking like right now. It's, a Costa Rican kind of staple plus that Southern soul food, bring it together like that.
I like that. She's making a fusion like a mug. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, that sounds flavorful.
All the flavors,
yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I'm bracing myself for this because, again, it's a new year, new me. So when I sit down at that table,
I see your light, your new year, new me.
When I
light.
sit there at that table, I'm finishing my plate.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make you proud. I'm definitely gonna clean
I'm
up
excited.
there. Yeah, I can't wait. Because like I say, I'm sorry I missed the last one, but I do want to support, not just promoting, but I want to support by still pulling up and give me a plate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's gonna be 6 delicious courses. So you're gonna be well fed. It's crazy because you're going to be well fed, but the munchies going to hit and you're still going to be able to eat more because that's just how it works.
Make sure you take Uber or Lyft. Like, we don't want to have any accidents.
No, I always encourage people to ride share so you can just really enjoy your evening.
Yeah.
It just makes it less things to worry about.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of New Year, New Me, one of the things I've been trying to embrace more is collaboration, like through all the things I do, from the podcast to the magazine to just even in my regular life, just embracing more collaboration. And you were one of my new collaborators this year for the magazine. Jay gave us a recipe to start off our year.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't what we planned initially, but I take it.
No, it's not, and I apologize because that day that I was going to make it and get some good pictures because we originally going to do the akara, which is the black eyed pea fritters, the West African black eyed pea fritters. I ended up not making it. And I'm not gonna lie, I was tempted to get on Google and steal some photos, but I was like, integrity.
That would have been. Let me tell you
integrity.
How much,
I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble.
That would have bit me in the ass so bad.
I know.
Absolutely, somebody would have did that.
And no, I'm not here to do that. So I was like, no, let me, be authentic.
Thank you. Now that I know the story, thank you.
And pivot and, create this recipe myself and take my own pictures.
She did. You did a great job.
Thank you. I love food photography.
Do you really?
I do. I want to get into it. I think I had just like this realization. I want to get into it.
Are we talking about a second life here for you?
I don't know. Like, I'm so green. Like, I don't know where to start. Like, it's just very new. I just know I love I love it. I love food photography. I love food porn. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do. It's very rewarding.
She said food porn. I know you mean like just looking at food. Like, we're not talking about like people stepping on shit.
Wait, yeah, it is just food. But I did see an episode of like My 600-Pound Life. And, the couple had like a food addiction and they were feeding each other food. That was like food porn to the next level. They was turning each other on with that.
I saw an episode of King of the Hill where Peggy Hill was stepping on like watermelon and shit like that. And I'm like, is that?
Oh, with her feet?
Is that food porn?
It is for somebody.
I'm not going on that OnlyFans page. But being that it is a new year and like I say, new year, new me. People are going to look for new meals. What are some new meals that you could recommend people kicking off their new year with?
Ooh. So I'm really big on really simple plates. So the meat, whatever that may be, normally it's mushrooms for me, like fried mushrooms. I'm not going to call it chicken.
I was going to say pork chop mushrooms.
just fried mushrooms because I know how you are about that. A grain or a seed, so that's either going to be like rice or quinoa, and then like a vegetable. I feel like that's just really well rounded. It's something that can easily just be just so flavorful. You can get your textures in there. You got your crunchy from the fried mushrooms. You got your vegetables. Might have like a little bit of crunch in it, but you could just do so much with that, and it's just a very simple. So, your meat, your grains, your seeds, and your vegetables is always just like an easy go-to when you're just trying to eat healthy, trying to eat well-rounded, and wanting to eat real food. We lack real food in the U.S.
We do. That's why I was so happy to have you contribute a recipe this year, because I knew whatever it is, we have to also, like you mentioned, we got to all open up our palates. So we all got to open up our minds. I thought it'd be a cool idea, and you definitely blessed us.
Thank you. I'm just really I'm really proud of Black people. Black people have just really evolving and just becoming more like open-minded to things. And I see it, and I travel. I've traveled the world and I see it. Like, I think it's a beautiful thing.
I do too. And that's why we was talking prior to this about we was talking about Cat Williams, and I was telling you about how I'm trying to train my mind to not be triggered by so much that comes down my timeline. And it's primarily because of one of the things you just said. I feel like people are so closed-minded, but they feel like they're being open-minded, that it's like it's annoying. Like you just don't want to hear nothing unless it sounds like something you want to hear. And people be in comments just going back and forth, and I'm like, I ain't got time for all this, man.
Yeah. Social media is just like, it's interesting. It's like, it's just so easy to like present the person who you want to be on social media and just say the things that you want to say, and and it's just not that outside of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, social media, bro. I mean, I can't knock it all the way, because I feel like it's one of those things that it's definitely a positive, but I feel like people use it so much for a negative nowadays that it's such a Debbie Downer for me. Like, I really have to like find other things to look at online. As a matter of fact, I saw a post not too long ago that really hit me. How phones evolved, like how when we first had the little phones, the screens were like this small, and then slowly but surely they now the whole entire phone.
It's huge.
Yeah, man, it's like we've been brainwashed.
But I think everybody, I think everybody's going to kind of get sick of social media and artificial intelligence and just how far we're willing to go with this. I think it's going to push people back into desiring like real, organic, like human connections.
I hope so, because I feel like you even mentioned with AI and some of the things you're starting to see. I feel like people are begging for the thing that they were so worried about at this point. Like you're begging for somebody to for a robot to take your job. You're begging for a non-existent relationship. You're begging for these things that you said initially before you got on social media, when you used to yell, "I'm not a social media guy." Like, now all of a sudden y'all are wide open for this, and I'm just scared, because I don't want none of that.
Yeah, I do have fears. Like, I just wonder, like, how far are we going to go with this? But I will say this, right, with like Chat GPT and like all of these things that help people out. I sat down to create like a catering quote for a client the other day. It literally took me like 3 hours, like, and when I tell you I was drained after that mentally, but knowing that I could have like this little AI like app like do it like that, you know what I mean? It's just like things like that. Now I have mixed feelings about it, you know what I mean?
But you gotta be serious when you start using AI apps. Like I use Wonder app when I'm making images. Like, some of the images I made for your last event was on that app. But one thing I tell people, because I saw a lot of people try to not say ride that, but a lot of people were doing that right afterwards. Pay attention, because when you're doing AI, it's just really it's what you're typing in. Like, it's not gonna be super authentic. And I can give you this example. I made one image of a crowd in a concert, just a bunch of crowd people just waving their hands. You know what I noticed? How many people had 4 eyes? You know what I'm saying? Or how many people had an ear here? And it wasn't like, it was jumbled up. And I don't think people pay attention to stuff like that. You're so ready to drop something that you're not realizing that AI isn't perfect. Like, you still got to pay attention to what you're doing.
Yes, I agree. And I think we're going to be able to differentiate, and there's just going to be like those special people who just really appreciate people who are just not using it and are, navigating these things, with their talent and with their skill. So,
well, I'm a big appreciator of people. Like, so I want to keep seeing people and being able to congregate with people and have full conversations and not feel like, we having comment conversations. I have that a lot in real life now too. Comment conversations, like, can y'all just have a full like statement? But I ain't gonna dive too deep into that.
I feel you.
Yeah, if there's somebody you can prepare a meal for, who would it be?
Someone who I could prepare a meal for.
Aside from me.
Would it be? That is an amazing question. Let me think about that. I don't want this pause to be too long.
You good? Have you seen The Color Purple? I know that's like such a jump, but I just wanted to ask somebody, because I haven't met anybody who's actually seen the movie.
The new one that just came out, the musical.
Yeah.
2 thumbs down, bro.
Really?
2 thumbs down. I couldn't believe it. It was like a point where I was in the theater. I was like, what the fuck is this? what is it? And it wasn't like they lacked talent or anything like that, but it was so just musically, it took away from like the actual story. They didn't need to touch The Color Purple.
That's why I steered away from it. Like, Color Purple is one of those movies. It's up there with Boys in the Hood. I don't need to see this twice because I saw it once, and the first time I saw it, it was so in your face that I don't need to run this back several times. I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
And Color Purple, to me, I still see the scene of Whoopi Goldberg when she first meets Mister, and he like fucks her up. That still hits my mind whenever I think of Color Purple. I'm like, I don't need to see that whole long movie no more. I got it though. It was good.
Yeah, The Color Purple is it's a disturbing and emotional and iconic movie.
All of those things.
Yeah.
Especially the ending of the original. Like, especially how everything. It's just a good movie overall. So I don't know. I might still go see the
Okay. Okay.
After I told you 2 thumbs down.
On the streaming service, it'll be about 2 weeks.
I was about to say it'd be about 2 weeks.
Yeah, they put The Equalizer. They put Denzel. Well, I was like, don't do Denzel like that. I ain't mad.
What, Denzel got a new movie?
The Equalizer is already on Netflix. Like, I feel like that just happened so quick.
I want to see the Iron Claw because I'm a big wrestling fan, and I've been.
All of the brothers.
Yeah, and they play in that Plaza Theater, and I didn't have a chance to go see it, and I feel like the very next week is gonna be online.
As soon as you go see that motherfucker.
Uh-huh.
Next week, this shit will be on the streaming.
Yeah, but I want to go see that. But I don't know. When I think about people, because I know that's a hard question to answer. Like, is there a specific person you would want to make a meal for?
I have my answer now.
Oh, do you have your answer?
I do.
Who would it be?
I was going for like celebrities, like in my head, like that's what my mind jumped to first. But honestly, like I have sick family members, and I would love to just cook for them every day. Like everything that they eat is like what I prepare for them. I feel like I have the knowledge to, help somebody prevent cancer, like in their body. Like I would love to be that person for some of my family members. It's just hard to see people that you love suffering, and just seeing them unwilling to make changes. So that's what I would cook for.
I like that answer. That's such a non-superficial answer. Like I was expecting you to see like Tyler Perry or Oprah or something, but you didn't.
Oh no! Not fans of either one of those. Oprah Winfrey is a weirdo. She produced The Color Purple. This musical is another reason I didn't like it.
I'm not a fan of Oprah.
She's weird in a bad way.
Okay, now our whole network just got shut down.
I'm so sorry. You gotta tell me the rules like ahead of time. You can edit that out.
Now the whole network just got shut down. I never thought. It's crazy how people think about Oprah. That's another person I just never thought about enough to think whether or not I like or don't like you. I just know that you've been a figure in my life for a very long time.
Really?
Never
Think
thought
about her. She does some really weird, sinister things.
I believe it.
She's done amazing things like throughout her career, but she moved weird. I don't like it.
I think a lot of people move weird. Yeah.
But weird is not bad to me. Weird is weird is neither here nor there, but weird, like bad weird that's bad. You know what I mean? Like, don't be bad weird.
Like, don't pass the blunt to Oprah. So, Donnie That Marries is the latest venture. When are tickets going to be available for sale?
Tickets are up now. We have early bird tickets available. So definitely hop on those discounted tickets. It's live. We ready.
I look forward to that, man. So yeah, anything you need help with, I'd love to help promote again. Yeah, I know it's a dope event, and I promise you this round I'm gonna be there, like with the napkin tucked in shirt. I'm gonna be all kind of G with it, ready to eat up a plate.
Yeah, this time we're going to include more entertainment. People were really feeling good at the first one, and so when we got some feedback, they were saying it'd be great for us to have some activities where we can kind of gauge how high we are. And I was like, that's a great idea. So we're going to have some fun games.
Oh, we're going to do that
Yeah,
too.
We're going to stimulate you guys a little bit more this go around.
Just don't roll out spades, because that's going to kill everybody's high, because people get violent.
Yeah. I feel like my business partner was saying the same thing. I was like, you sure you don't want to play spades? He was like, no. Like, it's going to bring the event down. I was like, okay, let me know if you change your mind.
Well, Jay, if somebody wanted to follow you on social media or learn more about you, even try to book you, how can they do that?
I am on Instagram Instagram at Eat the Herb. That is EAT_DI_herb. Again, that's Eat the Herb. You can go to the link in my bio and find my website. And I also have a text to order system. So you can contact me at 678-408-7389.
That's what's up. Jadie, I appreciate you coming through and kicking off the year with me. That was a great interview today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate this.
No problem. So now I gotta eat Costa Rican food and possibly go to Costa Rica now.
Yeah, it's a win-win. You're not missing out on nothing.
No,
Exactly.
we're not losing at all.
These are all experiences to enhance your life.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate that. Appreciate you coming through. And that is Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation on LivehiphopDaily.tv.
Thanks for having me.
That was good. I